everyone. In my previous class, I've explained to you the past adjustment with the help of separate adjustment entries. We had not prepared the adjustment account. If you remember, we have not prepared a column to show the adjustment account, but we had done journal entries for it. And if you remember, there was only one error. Today, I'll take more than one error and see how it is done. In this question, where we'll make adjustment by passing separate journals, we can see that there are two partners, Jenny and Judy, with a profit sharing ratio of 2:1. Their capital balance at the end of the year, 31st March 2020, was 1,80,000 and 1,50,000 respectively. This was arrived after necessary adjustment regarding drawings and net profit. That means the adjustments has already been made and the profit has been arrived at. The net profit was 60,000. Jenny had withdrawn 2,500 per month during the year and Judy had withdrawn 2,000 per month. In addition, Judy had also paid his son's school fee of 6,000 on 1st October 2019 from the firm's account. So these two amounts, that is the drawings made by Judy, 2,000 rupees per month, that is 24,000, and 6,000, which was actually paid as the son's fee, that is 30,000 together, will be taken into consideration as his drawings. So the total drawing of Judy would be 30,000. Later it was found that interest on capital of 6% and interest on drawing of 12% was not taken into account while arriving at divisible profit. Please understand, the interest on capital is 6% per annum and interest on drawing is 12% per annum. These were omitted before calculating the actual profit. Pass adjustment entries. So here we have to pass the adjustment entries. Like the previous question which we had done, here also you can see the closing capital is given, and if closing capital is given, the first step is that we have to find the opening capital, because it is on the opening capital only the interest on capital will be calculated. After reading the question, let us now start with solving the question. Now, first step is that we have to calculate the opening capital. So how do you calculate the opening capital? You remember the formula. The formula was closing capital plus drawings minus net profit or the distributed profit. In this question, there are two partners. You can see Jenny and Judy. And their capital as on 31st March 2020, which is obviously the closing capital, was given as 1,80,000 and 1,50,000. 1,80,000 and 1,50,000. Now, we know that the profit was given to us as 60,000 and the PSR of the partners was 2:1, which was basically distributed in the ratio 2:1. So the share of profit will be subtracted and the drawings will be added. Okay, so what was the drawings first? Let us concentrate on that. Now see very carefully. The question has said that the first partner Jenny had withdrawn 2,500 per month and Judy had withdrawn 2,000 per month. The date of the drawing was not mentioned. Judy has also used 6,000 from the firm's account to pay the school fees. Therefore, that will also be treated as the drawing. And when was the school fees paid? It was paid in the middle of the year. Therefore, in both the scenarios, the drawing which was made was 30,000. Okay, so we'll add the drawings, and drawings for both was 30,000, 30,000. So effectively, this becomes 2,10,000 and this becomes 1,80,000. After that, we'll subtract drawings, subtract net profit. Now, what was the profit? The profit was 60,000, as I just now told. And what is the PSR? 2:1. So, what will be? That will be 40,000 and 20,000. I hope this is very clear. 60,000 has been divided in the ratio of net profit was 60,000 in the ratio of 2:1. So 40,000 and 20,000. So now we go to subtract 2,10,000 and 40,000 and 1,80,000 and 20,000. So the final figure which we get is 1,70,000 and 1,60,000. So this is the capital in the beginning of the year. Why do we need that? We need that because we have to calculate the interest which was not taken into consideration, and interest on drawing was also not taken into consideration in this question. So first let us calculate the interest on capital and let us then calculate the interest on drawing. So what is the interest on capital? So the interest on capital at the rate of the percentage which is given to us is 6%. The question has given us interest on capital at 6%. 6% of 1,70,000 gives us a figure, if you calculate that, 10,200. I repeat again, how did I get it? 1,70,000 into 6 divided by 100 gives us 10,200. Similarly, 1,06,000 into 6 divided by 100 gives us the figure 9,600. So we have got the interest on capital of first partner Jenny as 10,200, the second partner Judy as 9,600. After that, the next thing is that calculation of interest on drawing, and let me tell you, in this case, the interest on drawing of both the partners will be absolutely same because both the partners has withdrawn 30,000 rupees, and since the date of drawing is not mentioned, we'll calculate the interest for half year. So, the interest on drawing at the rate of 12%, if you want to do the calculation, you can actually do it, but it can be done mentally also. So it is 1800. Okay, so for both it will be 1800, 1800. So now what have we got? We have got the important figures, interest on capital and interest on drawing. So the calculation has been done. We had to find out the opening capital because without that we could not find the interest on capital, and the drawing was given to us, so we found out the interest on drawing because the question has stated that the interest on drawing and the interest on capital 6% and 12% respectively both were omitted before the distribution of profit. After the calculation, the next step we know is to pass the journal entries. So we'll pass the journal entries in a moment. After calculating the interest on capital and interest on drawing at the rate of 6% and 12% for both the partners, let us now concentrate on the journals. But before that, let us make a note of the interest on capital and interest on drawings. Both the partners, Jenny and Judy. If you remember, interest on capital was provided at 6% per annum, and Jenny, the interest on capital, if you remember, had come to 10,200. And for Judy, the interest on capital for Judy, if you remember very correctly, it had come to 9,600. And the interest on drawing, which was at 12%, for both the partners was the same amount, and it was 1,800. Okay, both it was 1,800. Now, with this piece of information, we will first start with the basic journal entries. That is the journal entries. First journal, if you remember, what do? We write back the profit. So, what was the profit? If you remember, the profit was 60,000. And the PSR was 2:1. The first journal entry is to write back the profit, and the journal entry will be Jenny's capital account debit, Judy's capital account debit to profit and loss adjustment account. Profit and loss adjustment account. Okay, so be very careful. We are making adjustments, and therefore the journal entry will be going to the profit and loss adjustment account. What is the narration? Being profit written back. It is the wrong profit which is written back. Okay, so if you remember, the profit was 60,000 and the PSR was 2:1. Therefore, 40,000 and 20,000. The journal entry was Jenny's capital account 40,000, Judy's capital account 20,000, to profit and loss adjustment account 60,000. Narration has been written. Still, the journal entry is not complete because we have missed a very important thing, that is the date. And if you remember, the date was 31st of March 2020. This was the date. So the first journal entry has been done. That is, we have written back the profit in the ratio of 2:1. The next journal entry, if you remember, it was the interest on capital, and we'll pass that journal entry. Interest on capital account debit to, who are the two partners? Jenny, capital account, to Judy's capital account. So what was it? 10,200 and 9,600. So 10,200 and 9,600. What is the total? It is 19,800. Okay, so we have done the journal entry for interest on capital. So you can see over here, interest on capital 19,800, to Jenny's capital 10,200, to Judy's capital 9,600. That has actually been done. Okay, narration being interest on capital provided. Next journal entry will be to transfer the interest on capital to profit and loss adjustment account, because if you remember, the question has said very carefully that the interest on capital and the interest on drawings both were missed. So we'll first transfer the entry to the profit and loss adjustment account. So the journal entry for that is profit and loss adjustment account debit, adjustment account debit to interest on capital. What is the figure? 19,800. 19,800. The figure is 19,800. 19,800. Now what is the narration? Narration is being interest on capital transfer. If you remember, in the previous question we had written the interest on capital transfer to the profit and loss adjustment account. That may be written, may not be written. It just transfer is more than enough. Okay, so we have done 3 journal entries. If you see very carefully, the first one for the wrong profit written back, second journal entry for the interest on capital provided, the third journal entry for the interest on capital transfer. Now we are left with more journal entries. We'll just see how we do that. Now, after passing the 3 journal entries, number 1, transfer of profit, number 2, interest on capital, and number 3, transfer of interest on capital, we are left with 3 more journal entries. First journal entry will be for interest on drawing, second journal entry will be interest on drawing transfer to the profit and loss adjustment account, and the third journal entry, the most important journal entry, will be the correct distribution of profit among the partners. So let us see that. So next journal entry, the date remains same, and you know the partner, that is Jenny's capital account debit, Judy's capital account debit to interest on drawings. And if you remember, we had calculated interest on drawing, and for both the partners it had come 1,800 each, because the interest on drawings was at 12%. The date was not mentioned when the money was withdrawn. Okay, so over here 1,800 gives us 3,600. So the narration is being interest on drawing charged if you remember, interest on drawing is charged from the partners and it is an income for the organization, it is an income for the firm. The next journal entry will be the transfer journal entry of the interest on drawing, and where it will be transferred? It will be transferred to the profit and loss adjustment account. Remember, we are doing sums in which we are passing separate journal entries for each and every error. So the next journal entry is interest on drawing account debit to profit and loss adjustment account. What is the amount? 3,600, 3,600. Narration being interest on drawings transferred. Okay, so now please see very carefully. Initial figure what we had in the profit was 60,000. We have got the interest on capital which we have just now calculated as 19,800, and interest on drawing which we have calculated is 3,600. So now to find the correct profit, we need to take these three amounts into account, that is 60,000, 19,800 and 3,600. We will subtract 19,800 and we add 3,600, and the resultant amount, if you see very carefully, 60,000 minus 19,800 gives us 40,200, 40,200 plus 3,600 gives us 43,800. Now this 43,800 will be distributed in the ratio of 2:1, which is the PSR, and if you distribute it in the ratio of 2:1, that means 43,800 divided by 3 multiplied by 2 will give us 29,200, and here it will be 14,600, because if we divide 43,800 by 3 we get a figure of 14,600. So we have over here 14,600 and we have 29,200. With these two figures we'll do the last journal entry, which is the final entry. And the final entry is profit and loss adjustment account debit to the name of the partners over here. What is the name of the first partner? Jenny's Capital Account. The second partner to Judy's Capital Account. So what is the amount? See very carefully. 43,800 and it is distributed in the ratio of 2:1. So we got 29,200 over here and 14,600. Now this is the correct distribution of the profit. Now the narration over here being profit correctly adjusted. Okay, if you want to write it, you have, in fact narrations are important and you need to write it. So the narration is being profit correctly distributed. This is the final narration. So we have completed the sum in which there were two errors, interest on capital and interest on drawing. We can have errors of salary and we can have errors of commission. So we know what to do with that. That same treatment it will be for the interest on capital. Why? Because both drawing as well as salary are expenses as interest on capital is, and therefore their journal entries will be similar. First we'll pass the journal entries for those, and next we'll pass the journal entries for profit and loss adjustment, and finally we'll put the last entry. The calculation is very important, students. Always remember that we have subtracted interest on capital. So if in a sum we had salary and we had commission, we would have subtracted that amount also, and we would have to add the interest on drawing. So this completes the sum in which we have seen there were two errors, and these types of sums generally comes in board exams and they are very easy to solve. They are 12-mark question, and I don't think there is any reason for any student to miss out this 12 marks. By this we have completed with the past adjustments, and in my next successive lectures I will do another topic, that is a topic guarantee of profit given to partners, and you will see how it is done. Keep watching my channel, don't miss to subscribe, but if you have not yet subscribed it yet, continue and enjoy.